Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Let's Hear It. I am here in my New York apartment with a different view today. We have a couple cowboy guitars up there that I don't use that much, but they do work and they do sound good. That is a hammered dulcimer made by James Jones back there, which is amazing. And today's episode is about Lowden Guitars. George Lowden formed Lowden Guitars in 1974 in Ireland and has been making beautiful acoustic instruments since then. Recently added a line of electric guitars as well. And his guitars are, I've played a few of them, very sweet sounding guitars, different than a Martin or a Gibson, very easy to play, beautiful, beautiful guitars.
Hey, this is Richard Thompson. I'm playing my Lowden signature model guitar.
People like Richard Thompson, Eric Clapton, Ed Sheeran play those guitars. And today's guest is Zak Hobbs. And Zak is actually Richard Thompson's grandson and the nephew of the great songwriter Teddy Thompson and Camilla Thompson, who has a band called The Rails in London. So Zak is, I guess you could call him UK folk rock royalty. And he's going to come on and tell us about his Lowden guitar. He actually right now has a instructional video of learning how to play Richard Thompson songs out on homespuntapes.com. He also has a Patreon site where he teaches Richard Thompson songs. I believe it's patreon.com/rtmusiclessons. But Zak will tell us if that's wrong. And let's say hello to Zak Hobbs all the way from London. Hello, Zak.
Hey Gary, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How's things in London?
They're pretty good. I'm actually just outside London. I'm in between moves, so as you can imagine, this isn't my London abode from the grandeur. It's I'm in my parents' place in the countryside while I'm in between moving mid-lockdown. So it's actually quite nice to be outside of the city.
So that's not your that's not the Thompson family castle that you're in?
I guess it might be, but yeah, it's not my personal one. Yeah, it's family, my parents' place, which is it's very nice, and yes, the piano that does not get played at all enough.
Well, tell us about your first relationship with Lowden Guitars and when you got the one you're playing, and tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll hear it.
Yeah, so well, as you said, you know, I've kind of grown up with both my granddad Richard and Uncle Teddy have always played, at least in my lifetime of playing guitar myself. They've always played Lowdens pretty much exclusively. So I was always around them and always thought they were nice. And then when I started playing a bit more myself and got to play theirs whenever we cross paths, you know, they live in the States and I live here. Whenever they were over here or I was over there, I always got a chance to play theirs, and it always felt like a completely different animal to anything I had played up to that point. So it was always something I was kind of coveting from a young age. So I probably started wanting one around 12 or so. And I got this one. So this is my first one, and I ordered it from Lowden. I'd played quite a few over the years in my teens. And then when I had enough money to get together, I played quite a few of them in stores and through family and other people. So I put this one together, which I've had for 5 years now, and it's been my main acoustic guitar ever since.
What model is that? Do you know?
Yes, this is a F35, which is kind of their top tier model they do before you get into like custom shop. But I think because I custom ordered it myself, they did seem to treat me rather well. So it's an F35, and it's got a F35, the 35 series. You can kind of choose a little bit of the woods you want. So it's got a redwood top and a Honduran rosewood back and sides.
I think that's one of the real interesting things about Lowden is they use many different types of wood on their guitars. It's not just mahogany or rosewood. There's many different combinations from what I've seen, and also love the wee Lowden, the small guitar they make, and those are awesome sounding. Have you played any of those?
Yeah, I have. I really like. That's kind of. I always thought that once I had one, I'd probably be okay and wouldn't really want another one. And then they released the Wii, and they sound so big for the size they are. So it's definitely if I were to covet after another Loudon, it probably would be a Wii. Yeah, they're beautiful, especially there's some all figured one wood soundboard and back and side, which is the same. They've got like an all walnut one and an all mahogany one, and they're really beautiful. And yeah, just amazing. And you've never heard something so big sounding from such a small guitar. This one's quite a big boy.
Yeah. And you've shot some videos for Loudon as well. Are those on their website, or are those easily seen somewhere?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're on their website. They were kind of a social media start of lockdown. They were kind of it was kind of a challenge and mini lessons, just these short little lessons I did where I showed maybe a little lick or a small bit of a piece and uploaded some tab to go along with it. And it was I should mention the guy called Alistair who works there and is kind of the head of marketing and stuff, asked me to do it and helped me get this guitar. And yeah, it was kind of just to see if you can learn this, upload your version of it, and then everyone who uploaded a video had a chance of winning some Lowden merch. Maybe not quite a full guitar, but a chance to get a little piece of Lowden merch, which is really fun. And I think you can still find those all on there through their social media, I would say.
Nice. And I'd love to hear you play that. I know that you learned a particular kind of picking style from your grandfather. So maybe you can tell about that, and let's hear what the guitar sounds like.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, most of the time whenever I'm playing, I play a hybrid picked style, which is something you see a lot in country players and electric players, but it's not as common in acoustic playing. And it actually allows you to do a few more things on the acoustic guitar where I can play, instead of getting that kind of chicken picking sound out of it, which is kind of the most familiar sound maybe that you get out of this technique, is you can get these kind of more full sounds where I can kind of go in between kind of finger picked sound strumming without kind of changing, slipping on a thumb pick, taking it off, switching back. So yeah, I can play a little something. I'll just noodle around. So I'm in drop D, typically, and I'm very rarely in a totally standard tuning when I'm playing this guitar. They ring out really great in open tunings. Okay, so
Nice. Beautiful sounding guitar. And so you're in drop D, so you just have the low E string tuned down to D.
yeah, exactly that. And it just means, especially for this picking style, it means that, if I wanted to do something more rhythmic in the bass, where I can do this kind of more in like a piano style, where I'm doing kind of a bass part and a high part. It gives me a little bit more versatility to not have to worry about what's going on in the bottom strings and too much fretting going on. Just frees it up a little bit. And
I know you play some electric guitar as well, because Yesterday, we filmed an episode with Dory Freeman and her grandfather, Willard Gayhart, which will be on episode number 3. So you'll be following that. And you played on Dory's last studio album as well.
I did, yeah. It was an honor because I'd loved her first 2 records, and the first time I heard of her, I couldn't believe that she'd just been. It's like she came out of nowhere, so fully formed in her voice and songwriting, and I really loved those first 2 albums. So yeah, it was very fun and very cool to get to come to New York to get to play on that.
And so what kind of electric guitar do you have?
I'm kind of a Fender guy basically, and my main electric guitar is a kind of Frankenstein Telecaster with Strat pickups in the neck and middle, and then a classic telly in the bridge, and 7-way wiring and all kinds of things, but loads of really nice old parts. And it was put together actually by my granddad's guitar tech, Bobby Eichhorn. He's put together 2 guitars for me, and it just sounds great, and it's really versatile, especially just for being able to do. If I'm only taking one guitar somewhere, it's always going to be that one, just because I know it so well. I can get just about any sound I need out of it.
Yeah. Have you played one of the Lowden electric guitars?
Yeah, I have. And at first I wasn't crazy about them just because they were all humbucking guitars. It was kind of Les Paul style guitars, which I get the need for them and stuff. And when they're played by someone who really knows how to work those kind of guitars, it sounds great to me, but it's just never something that works with my style normally. But they've recently-ish started doing P90 ones, and those sound amazing. And again, the single coil thing's way more down my street. So yeah, they never stop. In recent years, they went they went 30 years of designing guitars without really changing anything. And in recent years with the Wii Loud and the electric, suddenly they're like, it's like, oh man, I just want every new thing they release now. It's I thought I'd be done when I finally got my hands on this.
Well, as you've seen from my Instagram, you're never done collecting, and there's always something else, another instrument just waiting for you.
I know, it's the musician's curse. I've been spending all too many hours trawling through eBay and Reverb during lockdown, trying to pass the time and look for the new thing that's going to make me sound like the best guitarist in the world.
Yeah, well, that quest will never end, and hopefully you'll get lots more instruments added to your collection. And thanks again for coming on Let's Hear It today. And thank you again, Zak Hobbs from London. And check back in a couple days for the next episode of Let's Hear It. Thanks, Zak.
Thanks, Gary.